welcome back to the Millennial Starseed. I am your host Andriana, and oh my god, so many things have happened since the last episode. It's crazy. But we're not going to go into that today. We are going to discuss about a more interesting topic, which is the wholeness of transformation and manifestation, how it all blends together to create like a whole picture of things so that you can know how to navigate through things, through your own experiences, and how it all applies into the physical, the mental, the spiritual, or the astral plane. So we're going to discuss today about the quantum model of manifestation. As I mentioned in my latest blog post that I'm going to link in the description below, when we combine a clear intention with an elevated emotion, we move into a new state of being. But before we do that, there are certain things to be aware of before attempting to manifest something with our abilities. The reason why we must be vigilant about things is because emotions are a record of the past and they're stored in our body, and we have certain habits based on our subconscious and everything that we've experienced so far in this life. We even have things stored from previous lifetimes, and those things come up when we are trying to make a conscious decision about a certain outcome in our lives. There is always a reason for that, because we cannot move into a new state of being if we do not heal the past, if we do not process our emotions, and if we don't evolve into that new state of being. So things come up in such a synchronous way that bring about a process of transformation. And there is a wholeness in this transformation because it's linked to your highest passion, how you truly wish to live and experience life in all forms and ways. You can align yourself with that timeline. But before you do that, there's things to know, because not many people talk about this. I would love to put all the things that I've recognized within this process out there so that more people have access to this. If we want to manifest something, we must become a new version, adopt a new identity, and begin to break old habits and beliefs and adopting new ones that align more with that version of self that we wish to be. You have to be more self-aware first of how you're perceiving yourself, how you're perceiving your abilities, if there are any worthiness issues, and what comes up during that process and the trial and error. Of course, we're learning through that experience. You need to know what beliefs you hold when it comes to your vision, what emotion comes up in your body, and what are the steps you need to take when it comes to your vision. Do you have any belief systems that you're not worthy of having your vision being manifested? What are the things that prevent you? Maybe it's not your beliefs, but it's someone else's beliefs, and you adopted that in your subconscious. So as you may already know, what I focus more is to bring the unconscious and the subconscious into the conscious so that we can work with the left and the right side of the brain, sync those two both physically and mentally, use this alchemy to bring heart and brain coherence so that we can work in a quantum way with our entire being. Where are you right now? What stage are you in your life? And what needs to improve? So these are the things that you need to be aware of before attempting to manifest something, because there has to be like this integration within yourself, this cultivation of self-awareness and self-care, because you need to create this time for yourself. I have recently published a video from my sessions talking about the dimensional portal. So today we're going to discuss how to operate the dimensional portal, because you can operate from within. The body and the genes and our DNA are in service to our imagination. So when we enter that neutrality state, that 0 point connection, that conscious sovereign presence, and I'll put links below so that you can have a better understanding of things, you can begin to activate things from within your DNA and access more and more of your abilities. By cultivating body awareness and room awareness, we're teaching our body how to respond to who we are being. And by offering this elevated frequency, we can access more and more of our innate abilities. And this is all about feeling happy, feeling whole. And happiness is a lifestyle. For me, happiness, it's alignment with who I truly am. When I'm speaking my truth, when I can decode things. And this can happen when we extend that awareness in our crown chakra, and when we simultaneously ground into the planet and open up our feeling body through specific techniques. It's not that we will something to be, that we command something to be like that. We all know by now about the law of attraction, the law of vibration, but we've heard so many teachings that some things have become repetitive and we ignore certain things. We're not very aware of how to apply this in the physical because we adopt certain belief systems. From my personal observation of different cases of people that I work with, everything has to do with the way we operate outside the dimensional portal. Because when we operate through the dimensional portal, everything is different. Everything works through alignment, both sides of the brain. So it's easier for us to see things and do things. So it's not that we will something to be or imagine it to be, but we become it. We become inwardly aligned and convinced that it is so. And this happens not through our minds, but somehow it happens when we open up our feeling ability and we ground with the planet. So that's why I'm saying there's certain things to be aware of before attempting to do that, because we use the physical, the mental, the emotional, and the energetic simultaneously, and every category has subcategories when it comes to those things. I'll come back to this in a moment. Many teachings say that you have to give thanks before it happens, like it's already done, and that the body and the mind have to be in the future, meaning you have to feel the emotion of the future to teach your body how it is to elevate in frequency, because the body doesn't know the difference between having an experience and thinking an experience. Whatever you feel, the mind sends that energy to the body, and you're having a physical experience. What I haven't seen people talking about is how to operate through the dimensional portal and access that, because you have to enter a dimensional portal in order to communicate frequency, that higher frequency. The way I received this information is linked to everything else that I talked about the inner tree and the outer tree and all the layers that I explained in the previous videos and in our programs. When we calm the nervous system, we open this dimensional portal, right? Through that alignment that we bring physically and mentally to the body, we can reprogram our subconscious mind consciously. But there has to be a link and a bridge between the mental and the physical. And it's not just thinking about it, it's acting on it. It's both mental, physical, and through our intention, because we literally shift into that timeline that we wish to embody by knowing, not mentally, but knowing physically. It's an instant shift of knowing that it's done, because we feel it. We feel our body sinking to that timeline. The way to do that is when we truly and fully open up to that, and we feel our energy in such alignment with all layers of DNA that it's done, because we become that and we direct that energy not only from our physical being but through all layers as one. We access a higher frequency, a dimensional portal where we become one with all that is, and we know through birthright of free will that we can do anything when we truly align with it on all levels. Because when we tune into that dimensional portal, we tune into the body and into the mind and into the higher mind. That is what makes that reality, that timeline, play out through our intention and elevated emotion. All the doubt or the low frequency dissolves as the inner tree flows its light and current from within our heart. It's the wholeness of totality. We feel it is a feeling of the unity consciousness, the highest form of alignment, the highest form of knowing. You become it because you are it, and it plays out instantly. This is what instant manifestation is. You become that version that has no doubt, and it's not using assumptions. You know it because it's you, and through it you direct inwardly and outwardly through all levels and layers that reality by becoming it. And I will explain more about the action. As I said, is a mental, emotional, and physical manifestation. It's not only in our minds, and it's not only in our feeling ability. We have to take action, certain steps that will bring us closer to our desired outcome. What I've learned lately is that through our body, there is a bigger organism. Because our body is a bigger organism that we think or that we feel. It's like the brain and the heart, that is the part of the physical, the flesh, and it works for the physical organism. In this way, there is a field that connects everything together, and this is through quantum entanglement, and we are that, and we also are everything through the unified field of consciousness. It's like we can access the whole through the unity consciousness within our heart. And it feels like our body is inside of us and we are this bigger organism. We have access instantly through the dimensional portal to the bigger organism that directs things as creators. In my observation, we cannot shift things through our physical because our physical is only limited through our mind. But when we open this dimensional portal, we feel this alignment with our higher self, with our higher mind, and we can direct that energy through the physical and play it out as a physical vessel. So the key is to feel, to open up to the planet, to sing our chakras to the planet and work with it as one and trust it and allow and believe that we are safe. It's more than just words. It's literally feeling it that shifts, that opens up things. And I know that when you do not know how to access that, you just listen to the words and you try to imagine how that would feel and how that would be, and you attempt to try it, but you're not sure exactly how to do it, and this is what makes us doubt things. But it's clear to me now that because I've done it, I know how to shift it, and I want to share this with more people because it's really the key to everything. And I'm not just talking about physical things, I'm talking about if you want to truly activate more of who you truly are and manifest that into the physical, this is the way to do it. This is how you can access more of your abilities, is through shifts in perception, by doing specific things and opening up, becoming more aware of literally how your energy fields work and how the earth works and how you can tune into it. And it's more than just meditation. Meditation is one aspect of it. You can literally do this anywhere when you feel safe to open up in that space, and through accessing the dimensional portal. The dimensional portal can be anywhere because you are that. You just request connection to that when you tune into that portal. And I was shown how to do this through specific mantras that open up the dimensional portal, and to extend the sacred geometry of that portal around my body and my house, and even on other places if necessary, so that I can open up and extend and access that, because there is a bigger organism that comes forth. That is you, is your other dimensional versions. That is literally you. And you can use that. And it's so interesting and fulfilling knowing that you are that and you have that power. And when you feel that you actually instantly shift something, when you feel that it's done, you really feel yourself. You believe there's proof. And you are that proof. You just forgot how to use your abilities. I want to help you do the same, because you deserve that, using conscious sovereign presence. I will put some links in the description so that you can have this whole picture with scientific proof of how it works, and it's not just my opinion or perception or my download, but you can do research yourself if you're interested in that. There is one more key that you can do. And this is being passionate about being passionate, meaning applying this elevated emotion and acting to the best of our ability on our highest passion and what we truly feel like we want to do. The key here is not just to do that, because we lose motivation sometimes. We don't feel like doing things. So the key here is to be passionate about becoming this new version and playing out this new identity, and becoming so passionate and so, like people say, obsessed with that this is our only focus. And through that we truly elevate within our being, and we learn to expand into a higher frequency, because we become this passionate person acting in the physical as a new version, wanting to work on things, wanting to improve, wanting to do things, learning, studying, applying things, integrating things, healing things, realizing things, becoming more aware of our patterns and habits, and changing things and creating structure and becoming this structured, elevated person, learning how to trust, learning how to love, learning how to open up to who we truly are, to all that is, learning how to communicate with the planet, and how to communicate with ourselves, learning how to express ourselves, and opening up our energy centers and feeling more, using more of our innate abilities, and accessing more of who we truly are through that alignment, through conscious alignment, through the dimensional portal that we are. So let's get to the physical things to help you see this mentally. Now that we've cleared things up when it comes to the dimensional portal, what are the steps for manifesting? How do we do that? Well, I have recently created a journal, a PDF guide that helps you structure things out, helps you see things, change your patterns and habits daily, creates a physical structure for you to know when to do things and how to do things. It provides more instructions on how to plan your day, your week, and by the end of each week, you observe things and you come to conclusions about your habits and your belief systems, and you learn more things about yourself. You identify belief systems and habits that no longer serve you, and you take conscious action and steps towards shifting that into the version that you truly wish to be. Because by realizing the belief system, you're able to replace it with another belief system that works for you and not against you. So when manifesting, get clear on what you want. Imagine how it would feel if it was already done. You need a way of communication with yourself, and this is what we call the inner child. You must give the microphone to that child and let it speak and let it guide you, because we have ignored so much our emotions and our intuition that these came to be manifested in the physical body as blockages and pain, weird manifestations, because when the energy doesn't flow correctly, it creates blockages in the mind, because negative belief systems and things create blockages in the mind, and when you don't take action towards that, it gets worse. So the only thing we can do to correct this is to communicate with ourselves, have this time to express things, to write things down, to see things on paper, and cultivate this connection with ourselves. This is the most important thing, because you can do that through accessing the dimensional portal. So the first thing you do is to access the dimensional portal, and you do this through specific techniques that calm the nervous system down. Sometimes we work with the physical to calm the mental, and sometimes we work with the mental to calm the physical, and vice versa. There are many techniques that you can do, but what I've learned through my personal activation is learning how to access the dimensional portal through sacred geometry, physical techniques through the body that help activate certain that help me sync myself through the sacred geometry language, accessing the coding of that language to communicate with my other dimensional versions, and they operate through my body to show me and teach me and train me on how to do that, so that I can help others do the same. So to learn how to work with your body and your mind and your emotions, the nervous system, the brain, how to use the sacred geometry that you are, and to access more of that ability through the dimensional portal. So opening up the dimensional portal and becoming the portal, we have instant alignment and information comes through effortlessly. So we receive information on how to improve through our higher mind, which is more than a mind. We have instant expression. We can use that time, that presence, to communicate with our inner child. Let it express, let it come through, let it speak to us, because our other dimensional versions express through our inner child, because our inner child is that innocent heart that needs time to feel safe, that is connected to our emotional body. So when we open up to the planet, we open up to the mother, and it's like we operate within the womb of creation, because we are that creation, and we also are inside a womb of Gaia. It's like Gaia is our mother, and we forgot how to talk to her and connect with her. So when manifesting, get clear on what you want, write it on paper, and while you write it, feel how it would be, give thanks like it has already been manifested, and feel that emotion. How would you feel if everything you wished was already done? Be that version, see that, and feel this to the fullest, and know that it's done. We are the creators, literally, not intellectually. Release any tension and awkward posture and surrender to the bigger self from inside the heart that connects all layers into one unified, quantumly entangled universe, multiverse, innerverse. It's an intergalactic communication. Through our body, we are expanding our frequency capacity, the frequency capacity of the consciousness, to the real body, the unified one that is a part of a bigger organism. So when we say act on your excitement, on your fullest capacity, it's based on the fact that you live in a state of conscious alignment with the bigger body, the bigger organism, through the sovereign presence. That is a state of awareness that you can have access to when you create time to feel that and release tension, calm the nervous system, and feel your body, light body. Communicate through that portal. Meditation is just the training of how to feel more of what is, but there is a deeper connection to that. It's not only meditation. You can meditate anywhere, and there are many ways to do that, to access that presence. Through our DNA, there is this antenna where we can redirect and rewrite our subconscious. And this is what we do when we access consciously the left and the right hemisphere of the brain. So when we do that, we learn how to do a brain sync, rewrite our subconscious. We literally remove any trace of fear that is false evidence appearing real, because we instantly know that we are creators and we are directing that literally. You know, as humans, we have been controlled and conditioned into having low self-worth and low self-esteem through many programs and many agendas. And this has resulted in us not believing in our manifestation abilities. And that was done on purpose. The way to shift this is to observe what is the old story identity. In what way have you been expressing yourself? Who are you? What is your story? Do you repeat the old story that happened in the past and you keep repeating an identity that you no longer are in the present? You just think you are, so you create it. And what are those belief systems that resulted in that old story? What repetitive conscious or unconscious habits were you operating from? The key here is to define your new version, the new timeline, and to write it, to see it, to envision it, to feel it, to connect to the planet, to ground yourself, to ground your chakras into the planet. What helps me is to lay on the ground and write down my vision and see my vision and feel it and know that it's done, because I speak through my heart. The heart is the key. And when the heart and the mind work together, you become the miracle. When you connect with the planet through the heart, you also connect through the umbilical. So when you connect the heart and the umbilical, your umbilical to the planet, it's like you're plugging into that energy and you work as one with Gaia. And this is one of the techniques that we do in our program. There is a PDF guide that has information on this. And if you're interested to enter the program, I do sessions and have videos that teach you how to do this in your own time, in your own space. And the more I learn, the more I share. So if you're interested, I'll put a link in the description below. And another thing that you can do is to become aware of the perception that you have of yourself. How do you feel about yourself? To really learn how to feel yourself. When you feel yourself, you learn how to come from the center of self. You sync the left brain, that is based on logic and structure, where usually our doubts are, our self-worthiness issues and all the issues that exist there. And we blend the right brain with the left brain. And in the right brain is our imagination, our vision, our creativity, our goals. And when we blend those two together with our intention of feeling from within the body, so when we feel ourselves, we're able to work with the center of the brain for the left and the right. The left brain is based on logic and structure, self-worth, etc. We face it by analyzing it and working with the right hemisphere of the brain, the inner child expression and imagination and vision and goal. And we blend those two through our intention of feeling from within the body that it's done. We shift it into being. And when there is no resistance, physically, mentally, our energy inside the body flows like water. We connect with the water of the planet. We connect through the conscious sovereign presence with all the water that ever existed and all that is, because we are one. And water has memory. So when we align the sacred geometry with the geometry of all that is, we can access it through its own language, because we are that. When there is alignment, there is access. And clearly the way to not have access is when you are constantly in vibrational misalignment with who you truly are, by being constantly in fear or anxiety, by being out of sync with your inner circles and with your cycles, with the cycles of everything else around you, with the cycles of the earth. So when you tune back into that energy, you align. But it's not for one time. It's a practice. It's a daily thing. And the more you do it, the more you become it, the more sustainable it is for you. The more you do it, there's going to be time when you look back and you'll see that it's already a part of your lifestyle. It's already a lifestyle for you. And you do it because you love it, because you are passionate about that. You're passionate about being passionate. You love who you are. And this is a new state of being, a new state of awareness that aligns you with all that is. You create ripple effects through that. You inspire more people. You feel it. People feel it. You activate people just by being there. And you plant seeds for them to access that within themselves as well if they wish to. And this is how free will works. You have to want it to shift it. And the more people who shift into that awareness, this has direct effect on the unity consciousness of the planet, because we are one and we all operate as a planet, as a unit, as a consciousness. There is a signature of the planet, of our consciousness, that can be measured. We define worth for ourselves by either giving it to others to determine it for us, or we define our own worth by shifting our perception, our focus, and our mindset through conscious habits that make us feel good, and by cultivating true self-love. But most importantly, feeling that our body is inside of us, because when we remind our body that is a part of a bigger body every day, and we expand our feeling ability and our awareness through the portal of that body, then we see that we're not that small, limited human, but we are all that is. We are the proof, and we feel it through our cells. We feel our DNA. The mind doesn't have to know how to know, it just knows, because it can feel it. It's a feeling. It's not a belief, it's a feeling, it's a knowing. So how you interpret your version of reality matters. Literally, it takes form to support your perception, your vision, and your feeling. So focus on building the life that feels good to you, but not with the focus of impressing, but just by being you, being true to who you are, as an energy, as a spirit, as your natural way of being. Your body and your heart responds to that. It's a quantum world, and we're all connected. So don't put effort trying to impress yourself, because what's the point of trying to impress yourself? You just use all your energy force to impress people, where you could use all that energy force to awaken more and more into who you truly are, and access more and more of who you are. We can access the bigger body, the energy field, the outer bodies, using the physical vessel as our anchor to return to. We are the access when we have no resistance. So to bring more clarity on this topic of manifestation, the wholeness of transformation and manifestation, I want to bring the example of the dream baby. When manifesting your dream into the physical, it's like creating a baby of manifestation, because it's an expression through your inner child. So just like when you try to create a physical baby, you should examine whether the parent dynamic isn't a toxic environment for the baby. So before attempting to make a physical baby, you need to be more self-aware of your own traits, of your belief systems, of your own toxic traits, and to know that the way you are affects the baby directly. So elevate in frequency first, and then act on that. That is why we need self-awareness, because in this case we are the parents of our creation. We are the parents of the baby, and this dynamic happens within our own duality, our own inner aspects, the thoughts, the emotions, the beliefs, the actions, etc. So by having parenting skills before becoming parents is the key. Usually the parenting skills are practiced after the baby is born, where another level of mastery is unlocked. But it's important to heal our own relationship with our inner child first, so that we can give the manifestation child a balanced life, not a distorted life based on our own insecurities and the ideas of other people about how life should be, and even about our skills. So when it comes to a relationship, how much do you believe that you deserve the best? Do you believe that you are worthy and that you can attract the best, or that you'll be abandoned or hurt because of what happened in the past? Those are the traumatic events that are stored in our subconscious, and this is the healing work that we do to bring them into the surface and work with ourselves through the dimensional portal to heal that and rewire the brain to think in a different way, so that we can sync the left and the right hemisphere of the brain. So the heart and brain coherence is what helps us access more and more of our power. When it comes to busyness, how much do you allow yourself to do? What is stopping you from expressing your true potential? What are the belief systems that you hold that slow down your success? What does success mean to you? How are you operating in your life? How is your relationship with your parents? If you wish to be a parent, what are the things that you carry from your own parents? Do you have things that you carry that are not yours? That's why we're cultivating self-awareness. And I am giving these examples because I've had conversations with many of you when it comes to wanting to create a business. I've had people who want to have a baby, many people from all aspects of life, reflections. And I also have this example of me going through the ascension process of me accessing more of my innate ability. And I see in every layer how everything connects to everything else and how all is one, and it's just being expressed through different ways. So by seeing those reflections, I'm able to assist more and more people being on this path of discovering it within myself and applying it and being in training on how to master that. So just identify if you hold any perceptions subconsciously that are applying to your creation or to your beliefs. How much do you really believe that you can do it? We have all been programmed or judged. We all go through our own ways of processes. So just know that anywhere you are from these spectrums, you can observe how you think, why you think like this, where have you learned those things and have adopted those belief systems and made them yours. Some things may not be so clear for you because we adopt things while being in our mother's belly. Things can be transferred from the mother to the baby, from the parents to the baby, and these things can affect the lifetime of this baby through generations. And this is how karmic imprints work. So before attempting to manifest or create a baby, whether it's a physical or whether this is a manifestation, what we really need to focus on is healing through self-awareness. If we're really serious about our creation, we must learn to go deep, to uncover our traumas, to heal them so that they won't come up and ruin situations or manifestation or relationships, etc. So when it comes to creating a baby of manifestation, how willing are we to be good parents? And how much of our own inner child are we willing to express in that parent-baby creation dynamic? Because everything is connected, and this is what we do here at Conscious Alignment. So how do we heal a traumatic event? We forgive ourselves. We bring the old version to meet the new version. We explain who we are to our inner child. We identify who we have been in the past and where we wish to go in the future. And we become self-aware into the present. We forgive others. We see the triggers and the traumas. We analyze. We understand the situation on both sides, in our minds and in our hearts, and we realize that we don't have to carry belief systems anymore. We can work on our weaknesses to make them our strengths and to focus on our strengths and our potential through action and repetition. And we merge past and future in the present. We embody the highest timeline to apply those things in our routines, to create new habits, to self-reflect often, to resolve issues that come up, to heal the body and to restore back homeostasis, to learn about neuroscience, to study things, to learn how the body works, how the mind works, so that we can form a better relationship with ourselves through that wholeness of transformation to create that baby of manifestation, the highest outcome through unity consciousness. So when we do these things, we are more able to create a healthy manifestation baby and form a healthy relationship with it throughout its life. So we sustain that manifestation long term because it's based on a solid foundation, original blueprint, and an organic timeline. And to be consciously aware that we will be tested for every manifestation we wish to create so that we can overcome obstacles and become better, because this is how it works. It's all about self-mastery and our legacy. It's a physical, it's a mental, and a spiritual process. And we can affect the future generations because when we heal ourselves, the future generations do not have to carry any unhealed aspects or traits, and this is how we shift humanity. We create a safe environment with balanced ideals and attributes, and this is what we're working for. We don't need anything external. We must shift internally first so that we can create the external outcome by coming together. So when we connect with the ground, we merge our chakras and we unite the upper and the lower chakras through the center, the left and the right hemispheres. We sync them into the center through heart and brain coherence. Through this conscious sovereign presence, there is an effortless alignment with the inner and outer body, the smaller and the bigger body. We expand, we open up, and we align the mental, the physical, and the energetic. The mental through the shift in perception, the physical by relaxing the nervous system when we go into the tissue, and the energetic by releasing and surrendering to the state that it's done. It's already done. So both the brain and the stream of the silver cord unifies through our center, and we can access the inner dimension. We bridge the time dimension by accessing the light, because light travels faster than sound. So when we bridge dimension, we are in between. We are accessing the in-between space. We have access to light from inside the DNA because we are that. We activate the light body. So how does it feel? We are in this body consciousness while also feeling simultaneously anything else we choose to focus on in the in-between state. Manifestation is a practice, a daily practice of conscious sovereign presence. That is you. So to conclude this episode today, here are some notes for you. We are not in our body. Our body is within us. It simply responds to who we are being. Our dimensionally greater self has ways that the 3D us knows nothing about. Connect with your intelligence. Every dream could be realized by those self-disciplined and self-aligned enough to believe it. Our dream is true and can be instantly aligned when we shift our perception, thought, and emotion and align with it, knowing that it's already done and we are in that timeline without any doubt or anything limiting. Exercise your powerful imagination morning, noon, at night, every day. Create the time to just feel the presence of gratitude, of that vision, and giving thanks to it. Feel it. There can be no doubt, fear, or inner dialogue that can contradict that which we want to be or have, because we already are and have that. We do not will something to be, but we imagine it and become inwardly convinced that it is. Conscious manifestation is not about waiting for things to unfold. It's about being the person who embodies the reality of their choice in this now moment. Meaning, it's a physical, a mental, and an energetic process. In the physical, we have the feeling and the action. In the mental, we have the thought, the vision, and the structure. And in the energetic, we have the intention and the gratitude. Tune in to feel your potential daily. Do the things that help you elevate your state of being, because these things require your devotion and time. When you do them daily as a new identity, as a new person, you will experience the benefits daily through accomplishments. And when you look back, you'll see that they have become a part of your new belief system and the improved identity that you are. A vibrational match with our highest vision and version and perspective and mindset in everything. So thank you guys for being here today. I hope you liked this episode. If you did, please give this podcast a like, share it with your friends, groups, family, and save it so that you can remind your body and mind how to be the highest version of self. I thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for the support, for the comments, for the interactions. If you need a healing session or a reading, and if you want to learn more about the programs, check the links in the description below. And I'll see you in the next episode of the Millennial Starseed.
What do spirits say?